Myself, A. Lakshmi Navina. I am studying 9th and Brilliant Model School. Today I am going to explain about animal behavior. Animal behavior includes all the ways animals interact with other organisms and the physical environment. Behavior can also be defined as a change in the activity of an organism in response to a stimulus, an external or internal by natural selection. Animals show different types of behavior. Animal behavior is the area of science also known as ethology. There are mainly four types of behaviors that are instinct, imprinting, imitation and conditioning. The first one is instinct behavior. Instinct behavior can also known as innate behavior. A behavior that an organism is born with is called an innate behavior. These types of behavior are inherited. They don't have to be learned. Innate behavior pattern occurs the first time an animal responds to a particular internal or external stimulus. The simplest example of an instinct behavior is a fixed action pattern. Innate behavior that occurs naturally in all members of a species. For innate behavior to occur, it just needs a particular stimulus to trigger it. Examples of innate behaviors are web making in spiders, nest building in birds, swimming in dolphins and other aquatic species. And the second one is imprinting. Imprinting is a term used in ethology and psychology to describe a speed of automatic learning. Its function is to keep the young near their parents during their early learning period. It is most obvious in birds such as ducks and geese after the fledgling have left the nest. Imprinting refers to a critical period of time early in an animal's life when it forms attachments and develops a concept of its own identity. Birds and mammals are born with a pre-programmed drive to imprint onto their mother. Examples of imprinting are young geese following their mother. And the third one is imitating. Imitation is an advanced behavior whereby an individual observes and replicates another's behavior. Imitation is also a form of social learning. Imitation in psychology, the reproduction or performance of an act that is stimulated by the perception of a similar act by another animal or person. It involves a model to which the attention and response of the imitation are directed. Imitation behavior is flexible and variable. People may imitate with their hands, bodies and faces. Imitation is the act of copying the behavior of someone observed. It is most common learning rule and has behavior be observed among animals. Examples of imitation behavior is chimpanzee uses sticks to spear juicy grapes to eat. And the last one is conditioning. Conditioning is not an inborn behavior. It is a learned behavior. Conditioning is a type of behavior involving a response to a stimulus that is different from the natural one. Conditioning, a behavioral process whereby a response becomes more frequent or more predictable in a given environment as a result of reinforcement, with reinforcement typically being a stimulus or reward for a desired response. For example, imagine that you are conditioning a dog to salivate in response to the sound of a bell. You repeatedly pair the presentation of food with the sound of the bell. You can say that the response has been acquired as soon as the dog begins to salivate in response to the bell tone. Examples of conditioning behavior are every time the dog sees food when a bell is rang, electric shocks to prevent them from going unwanted places.
If you need like this important matters, please subscribe my channel, like and share it. Thank you everybody.